Good evening and welcome. You're watching Newsbreak with me, Sanket Upadhyay. What exactly is happening on our campuses? Is this discrimination which is leading to death by suicide? Remember the case of Darshan Solanki at the IIT Bombay campus? The student's family is now alleging discrimination. The family alleges that Darshan said there's caste discrimination on campus. So this is for the first time officially a person has gone on record to claim in this particular case that there was caste discrimination that happened on campus. The family says that friends found out Darshan belongs to the SC and ST community. The friends' behavior towards Darshan changed and friends stopped hanging out or talking to Darshan. Students did not like that Darshan was studying for free because he came under a quota. Darshan said that people were jealous and he took the extreme step as he was tortured and very, very distressed. So this is the version of the family. For the first time on record, the family claiming that this was a direct connection with his background, his community, the fact that he belonged to an SC/ST community. But IIT Bombay has rebutted the claim of discrimination. They say we strongly refute claims in articles about Darshan's death. As per initial input, no indication of discrimination being faced by Darshan. It is wrong to make these as accusations as police investigation is underway. But you see, the point is that while the police investigation is on, why is the campus or the authorities trying to play down the discrimination angle? Why don't they have an open mind? Because is this not a reality? Death on campus, has this not become a reality? 2 student suicides have taken place in 24 hours at IITs. Student suicides at IIT Bombay and IIT Madras. A scheduled caste student at IIT Bombay died by suicide, which we just reported a short while ago. The student's family alleged caste discrimination also. IIT Bombay refuted those allegations also. In IIT Madras, the student was found hanging in a hotel room. Now, let's quickly tell you some recent cases. Of course, the case of Darshan, which we just explained in very great detail. Then the case of IIT Madras on the 14th of February, where a PG student was found dead in a hostel room. Stephen Sunny left behind a suicide note as well. On the 10th of January 2023 in IIT Guwahati, a 4th-year student was found dead in a hostel room. In IIT Kharagpur, October 14, 2022, a 3rd-year student was found dead in a hostel room. Faizan Ahmed's parents alleged foul play. Now, one is not saying that this all had to do with discrimination along caste lines. It could be different cases meaning different things. But the main point is of discrimination. And particularly when you talk about IIT Bombay, is this the curse of caste on campus? The SC/ST students group APPSC has now gone on record to say that IIT Bombay's denial of caste discrimination is distressing. Students raising the caste issues accused of harming prestige of IIT Bombay. Denial is the most cruel form of ignorance and exclusion. So, given this situation, the point and the question that we are asking right now, very simply, is this. Dalit atrocities in India's premier institutions. And are we trying to look the other way when we should first understand and acknowledge this problem and then look for an active solution? I would like to introduce our guest, Dr. Suraj Yengde, author and columnist, public intellectual and scholar. We also have Professor Badri Narayan, is an expert on Dalit issues. Thank you very much. Professor Narayan, I want to begin with you first. You know, to look the other way for the IIT Bombay or any authorities to initially, the first response is that we are rebutting this claim. We don't agree with these claims because the investigation does not reveal any such thing. The point is, the investigation has not even denied that there is a discrimination angle. And now with the family so openly and clearly alleging that yes, a caste angle was involved, there was discrimination. I think, don't you think the first response should be to acknowledge that there could be or is definitely a case of discrimination on campus?
Sanket, you are very right. I think the IIT administration should not try to restrict the investigation and limit it, because when you are going to restrict it, you are going to limit it, it means you are excluding many issues, many questions around it. And in that way, you are not doing justice with the investigation, because investigation needs a kind of questions which are coming through different ways, and they are making they are resetting the happening of the case. So in that way, one should not restrict it, especially administration. And administration on both kind of administration, the IIT administration and also police administration, investigating agents. They should also include this element, this issue in it. Because if it is not the case, this will be clear. What's the problem in it? Keeping this as a question, this as a question of investigation. If it is the case, then it will be justice with the person who has suffered, who has made suicide. So it's a very crucial issue to include the questions like this in
the
investigations.
Absolutely, because initially in the police probe, the entire investigation surrounds around whether there was too much pressure and was that pressure entirely academic in nature. Given these allegations, and particularly by a family, Dr. Suraj, the family is very openly alleging this. Don't you think an investigation along these lines is the need of the hour? And when you juxtapose this with statistics, then it paints an even sorry picture. Death by suicides in India's elite institutions, IITs, IIMs, IISc, between 2014 and 2021, 122 students have died by suicide. From 2014 to 21, 34 students died by suicide at IITs. During this period, 24 scheduled caste and 41 OBC students died by suicide. This is a government reply in Parliament. Are we saying that all these students could not handle pressure of education?
Sanket, I appreciate you for taking up on this issue for a few days. What we need to understand about these students are the students who are a treasure for an entire nation. These are premier institutes, and getting into these coveted campuses is itself an uphill task for everybody. There's an entire business surrounding what it takes for a student to enter into this protected campus, the citadel that has been constructed. Now, when a student from a constitutionally protected category who has been historically bullied, marginalized, and atrocities committed upon his people regularly enters such campus, there has to be more proactive intervention when we see. So when Darshan and the 122 students, and when it comes to IIT, 34 students who have died, it is the national treasure that we have lost. These are the people who are the nation considers to be the arbiters, to be the leaders in various fields of technology. Now, here's my thing, Sanket. I have 3 suggestions. The first is, whenever incidents of such gory nature occur, when it comes to the caste discrimination for SC, ST, OBC students, the director and the dean should be immediately fired. There has got to be no excuse. They should be put out of the office because they have been incapable.
No, but Dr. Suraj, you look at the response of this institution. You can go by acknowledging that yes, there is a problem and it is under investigation. That is a reflection of an open mind, that this could be true. The family is alleging. Let's wait for the investigation. One can understand that open mind. Open rebuttal, refusing to acknowledge that any such problem exists. Don't you think that's where the problem begins? Where will a student facing this atrocity go when the institution itself refuses to acknowledge?
And I think that's what this institutions have become. It has really become a cesspool where we really can't really progress and think about the constitutional values being respected. Now, let me just tell you, the Prime Minister, and let's give it up to the BJP government for bringing up a mission mode recruitment drive last year. And they wanted that it was a mandate for not only IITs, IIMs, IISc, but also central universities to go and hire the backlog pertaining to SC, ST, OBC faculty. Now, I'm telling you why this is important. Even though the government circular told these government institutions paid by for the taxpayers to recruit these people, yet we don't see MMR being properly implemented. The government replied that 30% only vacancy they could fulfill, and the rest of the 70% are not there. And when we talk about IIT Bombay, less than 5%. Now, if Darshan is exposed to a counseling center where he is having a support and he's having an embrace where people are welcoming him and congratulating him and celebrating him that you have made it. A son of a working class plumber, you have made it. We are proud of you. Let me give you a hug. Let's have a toast for it. There was no such environment. And why is that absent? Because the welfare center or the scheduled caste, the person who's supposed to look after the welfare of students belonging to the scheduled caste, is herself anti-reservation. She bemoans the existence of reservation. And now when this person
I
is
see
given
that some agencies are tweeting about this. However, again, you see, this is all subject matter of investigation. One is that I blindly accept what you're saying, and then the other is that I blindly oppose what you're saying. And the role of the investigation comes to find the truth, which is somewhere in the middle. How do we know that this authority that you're talking about was anti-reservation? And if that is indeed true, if this is indeed true, Professor Badri Narayan, then imagine the pressure being faced by the many Darshan Solankis, each day, each minute. Those very institutions that are supposed to protect are not protecting.
Indeed, Sanket, you are very right. Actually, the environment is very necessary. Making an inclusive environment, this kind of elite institution, may help such kind of stopping such kind of happenings like with Darshan, the case of Darshan. And government also understand it. So in the new education policy, it is talking again and again about making inclusive campus. There is a SCDG proposal, the procedures and the provisions. They are talking a lot about it, and so that can help. And second is counseling. What Suraj is saying is very right. This counseling by the counselors who have known this kind of biases may help to reduce this kind of the problems with the students. And indeed, qualifying IIT is a very big thing. And this boy is indeed a treasure of the nation. And so IIT administration, not only the one IITs, IIM administrations, they should be very cautious about, because
right. One is consciousness, the other is the law doing its own job. Because Dr. Suraj, the thing is, you look at the track record in each of these cases. I don't recall, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, if in most of these cases we have reached some sort of a conclusion in the investigation.
Yeah.
And if we don't do that, then obviously the problem persists. On top of that, you have denial, institutional denial.
And I think, Sanket, it reminds us of what happened with the unfortunate incident of Rohit Vemula, when the administration was still very steadfast. And this time, the BJP government party command and the leaders and the minister were involved.
Then there is no point of Mr. Athawale visiting. No, it looks like a very empty gesture. If a minister goes there and it is not backed up with the requisite investigation to find out where the problem is. It exists, everybody knows. But how will we know for sure a fair investigation? And that has not happened in any of these cases.
And I think that really is also true with what happens with most of the Prevention of Atrocity Act cases relating to SC and ST discrimination that they face and the atrocities they undergo, which is similar, where the procedure is delayed so that the justice cannot be served. And so to just piggyback on the earlier point I was making, Sanket, about the counselor. See, we have limited, although minuscule number of SC, ST, OBC faculty on campuses. Why are they not given charge of being the custodians of the new students who are coming on campuses? Why are they not asked and tasked with the responsibility that you should go and counsel them, offer them support?
Dr. Suraj as well as Professor Narayan, something is not right on India's campuses, and denial is not going to cut it. We've lost 122 of our bright young minds. Can we afford to lose more? I think that's the simple question we have to ask. Thank you very much for joining us on this discussion.